So I'm Diane, hi, and we're doing today astrology for the month of March, okay? And we've got a lot coming in this year, or this month actually. So I'm going to start, now you two are both new, you haven't been here before. So basically what astrology is it's the study of the movement of the planets in the sky. And it's giving meaning, relative meaning to the movement of the planets in relationship to us here on Earth. So that's basically what we're looking at and what I'm going to be talking about, okay? And we're looking at the month of March. Now, previous to this, we did an overview of the year, and we had two eclipses actually. February 15th and January 31st were the first two eclipses that started our year off. We are actually going to be experiencing the full moon from that eclipse coming in the 1st of March. So it's going to be a very powerful full moon. And so think back to what was going on in your life as far as those dates, okay? You should have been starting something new, especially around February 15th. So think about what you were doing at that point in time. But what we're going to be experiencing on March 1st is the fulfillment of that project, either through awareness, through completion of some sort, and or through a potential opposition where you're getting feedback where you realize you need to make some adjustments. But again, because it was, and it is a full moon to an eclipse, it's going to be more intense than usual. Not necessarily bad, but it gives you fulfillment. And so if it is a situation of fulfillment, you're going to be getting, it's in Virgo. So the fact that it's in Virgo, you're going to be much more pragmatic about things. You're going to be looking at things analytically. So you're going to be making decisions or getting awareness from others in an aspect of practicality and information as far as, is this good? How can it be better? Not necessarily with emotion, but with conservative and skills as far as how to practice. So, and I know you're an Aries and you're a Capricorn and you're a Leo, so what I'll do is apply this in a minute here. If it's an opposition, you're going to find that people are going to be picky and critical and you know, obsessively looking at details that really aren't important, but they may think they're very important. So these are things that will potentially have to be worked through as far as getting through this full moon. And I'll go through the cycle of the moon cycle so you guys understand. I have it coming further in the slides, the complete cycle of the moon cycles and how they apply. But let's go back. I'm going to review this because this is what it pertains to in January. So in January and February, we had the eclipse, and the eclipse was in Aquarius. So for what is your name?
Carol.
Carol. So for Carol, this is going to be, it started for you in your 11th house. So for you, it's going to have to do with issues of group involvement. Okay, something that started for you in February. Okay, group involvement, or dealing with your in-laws, or dealing with friends, or a social cause of some sort, or team players, you know, something like that. Sue, for you, it would be Aquarius, let's see, Capricorn. There. So it's actually going to be, for you, Sue, it's going to be money. Geez, there's a surprise, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, for you it's going to be money. And for Genesee, it's not necessarily money, but it's your value system. It's what's important to you and what you find valuable, what your priorities are, what your values are. And for Genesee, it is going to be revolving around, get this going here, relationships and partnerships and agreements and contracts, okay? So that started February 15th. March 1st is going to be the realization of where you stand on all those things that started. Okay, so that's your full moon. That's what we start the month out with in March. Okay, so it's either going to be fulfillment, where you're going to feel like you've completed, accomplished, and you're going to see, you know, how the results are beginning to unfold, or you're going to start to see opposition from others, and they're going to give you opinions on how things can change or how you can do things better. Could go either way, okay? But that's what full moons usually bring in for all of us every month. It's a cycle that goes on. But this particular eclipse lasts for 6 months, and it's something that we've all been working on over a long period of time. We're all birthing a project of some sort, of creativity, a baby, so to speak. And this full moon is actually giving us the chance to express it, but we're already past the point of unfoldment. We're actually in the process of experiencing and doing it. It's being implemented at this point, and it's something we've all been working on for the last year and a half. Okay, but now we're at the point of expressing our project, our baby, or whatever it is, and but now we're much more serious about it, and we're starting to put it and ourselves first before everyone, not before everyone else, but including everyone else. You know, there's a tendency to put yourself aside for the needs of everyone else, but now, specifically in relation to this project that the eclipse is all about, you're starting to put that, giving it more and the same, if not more, importance to the other things that are going on in your life. So that's what this is all about, and you'll start to see it playing out. Do you all know what it is for yourselves? Sue, do you? Really? For you, it has to do with money or your personal resources, yours, not your husband's, yours. It would have to do with your money. It would have to do with your possessions, furniture, clothing, anything that's movable, or it has to do with your value system, or love in particular, your value, your ability to earn money, your earning capacity. So you might be looking at wanting more, you know, and you might even be asking for more. I don't know. Does that fit?
Yeah, I just spent thousands of dollars on a furnace. I wonder where I'm going to get the money.
Okay.
So yeah, money is big this time.
Yeah.
Right around now.
Yeah.
I had a big expense I wasn't expecting.
Well, that's this.
Yes.
Well, let's give this to Sue.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, so that's how we start the month off, okay, with an awareness. It's an awareness. Then we also have the sun in Pisces for the month, for most of the month through the 20th of March. And the sun in Pisces is really nice, okay? It's a gentle energy. Most of us have the desire to want things to go peacefully and smoothly with this type of an energy, okay? So you're more humble, you're more compassionate towards people and situations and things that are going around you in your life. So this is somewhat in the air. So basically, when the sun is in Pisces, it's really nice. It gives you more intuition. You're more susceptible to ideas and or picking things up from other people, you know, without really thinking about it. You can connect more. It's great for art. It's great for artwork and music and self-expression, as far as just getting into the rhythm, getting into the energy, and flowing with it. So it's nice. And the veils are thinner at this time, so again, you just bring in more, you know. And if you do get involved in meditation, or you're dealing with any type of religion or spirituality type work, you're going to get much more information. And you know, if you're working with guides, it'll be easier for the information to come through. But it's also a time where, you know, you could tend to martyr more, be more, you know, selfless, okay? So you may tend to martyr more and take on other people's problems that aren't necessarily yours. And you'll be prone to wanting to just, I don't want to deal with this. So you'll be prone to wanting to escape. Now, for all of you, I'll just point out quickly, Genesee, for you, this is going to play out more so in your 8th house. So for you, you're going to want peace in dealing with other people's money, okay? You're just going to say, you know what, I just want peace.
Just give it to me.
Okay.
Don't ask questions.
And then for, let's see, for Sue, you are, I'm sorry, I usually have these things on my notes, but I didn't have a chance to have my little cheat sheet ready for you guys, so you're just, I'm going to have to do it this way.
Diane, can you say the names of their signs?
For Capricorn, it's going to play out for you in your communication. And actually in your communication, even though it's a great energy, just because of the position of it in the 3rd house, it might be hard for you to concretize your words, because you're going to be feeling things, and you're going to, you know, the information, the insights will come in, but you may have to struggle in how you communicate it and put it down into words. Art is, you know, art, it will come through, and music, it will come through, but words, there's a hiccup, okay? And then for Aries, we're going to, there we go. For Aries, for you, it has to do with letting go. You may be dealing with a situation where you're letting go of something or someone. You're cleaning your house, you're packing things up, or you're finishing up a project of some sort, and you're letting it go. So for this type of energy right now, you know, for the next 20 days or so in March, your whole mentality is just, you know what, I just want peace, get rid of it. Does that fit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, it just,
Mm-hmm.
So that is the sun. And with the sun in Pisces, irrespective of that, there tends to be, you know, it's an energy of moving on and letting go in general. You start to, you see people leaving. You know, people, if they're going to be leaving near or soon in the near future, people tend to leave more readily in the sign of Pisces. It's just, you'll see it. It happens every year. It's just that type of an energy where, you know, I'm ready to move on. All right, we have Mercury in Aries, which is really it's nice. Again, this is a nice energy coming in. It's March through May, so this is going to be going on for 2 months. And for communication, Mercury rules communication in general. So it has to do with the way you speak, the way you write, the way you think, the way you reason. It also has to do with commerce. It has to do with buying and selling. It has to do with any types of distribution in the industry. It has to do with any types of promotion, sales. So it's really going to affect you. She's in advertising. But it is the energy of transmitting information, buying, selling, negotiating, dealing with people. And when it's in Aries, Aries is a very fast-paced energy, and it wants to start things. It wants to kick things in gear and let's go. So it speeds things up, okay? So the ability to communicate, you're going to want to communicate. You're going to be inspired to get things done and to say what you have to say. But you're going to, with this type of energy, it's more of an inspirational type of an energy, so you're going to want to inspire projects, you're going to want to inspire people. But it's a nice energy for getting things done. Again, and this ties into the eclipse, because now with the project, does everyone kind of know what their project is that they've been working on? We've all been working on something, and we're all at the point where, okay, now it's time to, push it forward. Well, with this energy, we're going to be expressing more headstrong what we want to do with our new baby, okay? What we're bringing in. And so we're going to be expressing our point of view more directly. It's nice for ideas, especially, for being creative. You're going to have your ideas coming in quickly. Your mind will be moving fast, so it might be too fast. It might bring in nervous energy, okay? So it's good to an extent, but if you're overstimulated, you might, get nervous or experience some mild anxieties, but just be aware that it's the energy that's in the air. It's stimulating. But it's good for getting negotiations and contracts, and it's good for asking for money. Okay, some of the difficulties, again, because it's a quick energy, you might, get a flood of ideas, but your focus may change, so you have to try to just stay on focus more so, or at least be conscious of that type of an energy coming in. And you might see that you're called to go places unexpectedly more, so more traveling, more, it's more everyday traveling. It's not trips and vacations type, but it's more for sales or for work or for, contracts or negotiations. You might see yourself doing more driving and more interacting with the world in general. Okay, your immediate environment. That's the type of energy that's going on for the next 2 months. So and Mercury's going to go retrograde this month. So I am going to remember where it is. So for Aries, this is you. It's your first house. So it's going to be all about you. You're going to be developing a new image. You're working on your body. You're working on your appearance. You're working on your the way people see you, the way you present yourself. And so speaking is going to be a big part of it. So you're going to be focusing on the way you speak, the way you present yourself, the words you choose, and you're going to be putting it out there. Do you have something coming up that?
I can think where it might apply. So I don't have like a project that you could, like a thing, like a work project or anything like that. But I do have some little things that I could see where that might apply
Okay.
to it, I think.
It would be more so, it'll be in your it's going to be here, but it's also, it'll also affect you. It's Virgo, so it'll be more work-related for you. It's more work-related, and it's, I think it has more to do with the way you communicate at work, okay? And then for Sue, Capricorn, for you, it's going to be at home. So you're going to want to change your things that are going on around your home. So as far as the way systems work, the way your house works, maybe the wiring, the electricity, the way the house operates, the way your family communicates, it has to do with, you're really going to take action to make changes within your home environment. Does that fit?
Yeah, I would get projects in the back of my mind that need to be done,
Okay.
but you don't have the money. But yeah, there's workings there.
Well, and this will stimulate it. I mean, because with this is going to be energy. It's like a bolt of lightning that just gets you going.
Yeah, I need that. I
I
need something to get me going.
But it'll have to do with your home. But again, that ties into your work. So, and you may even be working more at home.
Mhm.
You may be doing more of your work at home. Again, I would, maybe ask them for something. I always tell them.
She tells me that, but last time I didn't even have to ask, they just gave it to me, and she told me it was a good time.
Nice.
She told me that.
I did. Okay, so Genesee, we want Leo. And for Leo, for you, it's going to be traveling. You may be doing some traveling, long distance. So it could be journeys, it could be for expansion of awareness, but you will be writing. So you may be writing your travels, or writing your journeys, or speaking or communicating or putting them into action. It has to do with communicating your experiences for you. And it doesn't just have to be that. It could also be dealing with other things, such as politics, laws, regulations, anything that has to do with growth and or opportunities, new opportunities for expansion. Okay, so things like that. But and it's going to be there for a long time, because it's there until May, but it retrogrades. So that's a nice place to have it. And that's actually a trine, so it's in a nice relationship to your sun. It should just come naturally. It's just gonna flow. Okay, let's go over here. All right, Venus and Aries. Now, both Mercury and Venus change signs on the same day. So there's a shift in energy on March 6th. Venus in Aries is an energy that is more so warrior-like, okay? Venus is the energy that you want to attract things to you. It's what you love, what you desire. It's your need to attract things and or people and or situations to you. And so what is going to be in the air is a need in general with everyone. They want excitement. They want adventure. They want passion. They really want something that's going to get them excited, and it will very well stimulate passion and romance for a lot of people with this energy, and also with the Mars energy, because that's a very action-oriented energy as well. So anyone that's single, this is a good time for that. for not holding back, for just, you know, putting yourself out and taking action on dating, you know, or looking for, you know, relationships. But Venus in Aries, it's an energy of a warrior type of an energy, and it's not necessarily in line with the typical Venus energy, you know. Typical Venus is more reserved and more demure and more refined, pretty. This is more of an energy of, I want it, I'm going to go get it, I'm going to grab it. Okay, so it's more of an aggressive type energy. It doesn't have to be aggressive, but you're going to go after what you want. Okay, so it's an energy for pioneering new beginnings. Especially that has to do with people, resources, love, relationships, money, matters of relationship in general. And you're not going to hold back. You're going to have more courage to go after a possibility of having a relationship with people. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could even be a partnership with someone work-related or meeting new people in general, just bringing new people into your life. But you're going to be more daring and more innovative in general. It's just the energy in the air, okay? The possible difficulties with this is, even though the Venus energy is an energy of wanting to bond and wanting to have union and relationship with, the Aries piece of it wants to be independent and be separate and be me. So you have the bonding, but there might be the bonding for the reason of self-satisfaction, not necessarily for joint partnership. Okay? So that's the situation that, and knowing that, just, you know, be aware, because this is in the air. So when you start to partner with people, just be aware that, you know, consciously, the Aries wants to be independent, even though they may want to have relationship. Okay? And there might be more of a competitive energy, or again, more of a focus on, you know, me versus, or, you know, just competition, not necessarily, what's the right word, harmony, you know. There's just more of an edge to wanting to be better, or to wanting to be on top, or wanting to just be having that independence or separation of, so to speak. So bold, you know, people will be bold. So for you guys, this is going to play out for Genesee. Well, it's the same as your Mars, okay? Or I'm sorry, Mercury. It's the same as your Mercury. So even though you're going to be taking action and speaking and writing and communicating on your adventures, you're also going to go after them, okay? You're not going to be afraid. You're going to be courageous, and you're going to go after them, okay? So you've got the combination of the two, which is actually nice. It's, you know, people are really going to get things accomplished. And so it's the same, really, for both of you. So for Sue, again, that's Capricorn, it's your home. So you're going to be redecorating your home, but you're going to do it your way.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
I
You're going to
always
do it your
my
way. You're going to make it pretty. And if someone says, you know what, I don't know that I think it's wonderful. You know, you know, it'll be nice, but it's going to be done more assertively than you may have done in the past. But it's great energy, you know, to beautify and to you're going to make it more functional. You know, it's just things are going to operate more functionally overall by the time you're done. And then for Aries, it's you. It's you. It's your identity. So you're really going to get in touch with yourself. You know, it's like a complete makeover for the next 2 months. People are going to say, wow. You know, so it's a nice energy. You're gonna start to really put yourself out there, not just with words, but with your presence too. So, see, isn't this a nice month?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mars in Sag. Now this has been in Sag the month of well, it started in January, but the whole month of February, and for half of March. So this has been going on already, and this is goal. You know, we have been focused on goals, and we've been initiating action on achieving them. So, and that has been going on, you know, for the last month and a half. But the focus has been on gaining knowledge and living truthfully, not just truthfully, but, you know, there has been a focus on growth, expansion, and a need to know how. How can I grow? Give me the information, give me the tools, give me the teachers, give me the experts, so that I can do this in a better way, so that I can achieve this. So that has been in the air. So you're looking for advice, but it's also been an energy for promotion. It's a great energy for promotion. So for businesses to promote themselves, or whatever you're personally doing, this is the time. And I would say now through March 17th, if you're thinking of doing any promotion of any kind, I would do it now, because it should perform better now at this time with this energy. People are acting on hunches more, and it's just there's the energy. Mars and Sag, it's like a flirtatious energy. And again, if you're dating, you want to be careful, because this is the type of energy that's in the air. People don't necessarily want to be grounded and connected. They want to flirt, and they want to have an adventure. Okay, so that's the energy that's going on right now. Again, passion for learning and passion for knowledge. So I'll point out for you guys, for Sue, that this would be playing out for you, which is Capricorn. That would be playing out for you in your 12th house. So you are letting go of something. And it may, 12th house is working in isolation or being removed from people. So you may have been spending much more time alone, working on the computer in your own environment, or removed from people, so that you can think and expand and grow. Does that fit?
Yeah.
Or you may be clearing out, just clearing out a lot of things that need to you get rid of in your home or in your life or at work, where you need to make room for the new things to come in. So you're cleaning house, so to speak, but it's more of a mental energy. Okay, it's more of a energy you're cleaning out because you're making room for new growth, not because you want to be rid of it. You're making room for new growth, new mind, new ideas, new thoughts, new adventures. Okay. And then with Aries, well, this is nice. This is real nice. Have you been traveling?
No.
Really?
No.
No traveling.
No.
Okay, because, well, this is an energy. It could be traveling. It could be like trips, traveling far distances. You could also be going back to school. Have you been going back to school? Or getting training at work? Getting knowledge, being educated in some capacity.
See, I call my getting knowledge as I've been coming to a lot of lectures.
Well, all right.
And you
Yes.
see, I mean, when you were talking before, I thought, now that, new knowledge and wanting to know things,
Yes.
I've been like coming to so many
Okay,
different
that's,
things, and I think that's my I work at a school, so that's not, I'm not learning anything new.
Well, are you teaching though? You're teaching something new?
No, I work with the teachers, and so I'm a mentor
Okay.
to the teachers, so. Yeah, I used to teach
Okay.
classes.
Okay.
I'm retired now.
Yours is falling in the ninth house, so it's ideas for future goals, future vision, future wisdom, planning for growth, planning for change, you know.
Okay.
That's where your energy has
I see
been
that.
focused. And then for Genesee, Sag would be for you. Fifth house, your children. So for you, it would be doing things with your kids, adventures, going places, sports, activities, playing with them, fun, having fun. Not just your kids, a new project too. It could be whatever you're working on, your creative endeavor, putting your finishing touches on it in order for it to grow and flourish. So you're focusing on your creation, so to speak. But it's very fun. It's very fun energy. Okay. The difficulties, again, people want freedom, so to speak, and so they may get angry or angrier if they're confined in some ways. So you'll see or have been seeing a lot of short, angry flare-ups by people because they're frustrated, because with this type of energy in the air, they want freedom, they want to be able to move, they want to be able to just roll with it, and they don't want to be confined in any way. So if you have been having flare-ups, just know at this point in time that they're short-lived, and they're just frustrated, you know. But listen to what they have to say. But more of, and again, just be aware in love, there might be more flirtatious energy going on. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
What sign are you?
Gemini.
Gemini. Okay, we're gonna add a Gemini. Okay, so, now this month is significant because we have two planets that go retrograde. And when planets go retrograde, what they're doing is giving us the opportunity, because when they're direct, we're moving forward, we're going with the flow, and we have a plan, we have an agenda, and then when they go retrograde, everything says, okay, I gotta stop a minute. I gotta rethink this, I gotta make some plans, I gotta make sure I'm dotting all my I's and crossing my T's. So when planets go retrograde, things slow down, okay? It doesn't mean that they go wrong, whereas they just slow down. It gives us an opportunity to think and reformulate. So I haven't talked about Jupiter. Jupiter is an outer planet, and it doesn't want to come on the screen. There it goes. Okay, so Jupiter is actually our goals in general. It's our future goals and our desire to bring in abundance in our lives. And it has to do with how we've been expanding, and it's in Scorpio. It's going to be in Scorpio until November of this year. So with that type of an energy, wherever it's falling in your chart, and I will tell you, you're expanding, but with the Scorpio energy, it's compulsive. So you just have this compulsive drive to expand in some area of your life for future growth and development. Okay, you feel compelled, and you have to watch, because you may tend to take on too much. But it's a tendency to do much more research, to scrutinize details. It has to do with other people's resources and other people participating in what you're doing. It has to do with joint resources. It has to do with partnerships and bringing in, You know, you're growing, but you need to grow together with other people. And so you're looking at, you know, the balance and or the equality of how that is going in your life with the other people that are involved. The other thing at this time, and this is going on, this is a year energy, but I'm pointing it out now because it's going retrograde and you're going to start to feel it, okay? It's in a good position with Saturn through November. Everything is through November. So it's a great time for business and investments, conservative investments. The energy is there. You know, everything's working together. But if you do the research and you conservatively take action, you should see results. This has the energy of accomplishing things that you've been trying to accomplish for a long time that you may have been, especially last year, been feeling blocks in achieving a lot of things. The door's opened and it's moving now where you are able to accomplish much more this year than you have in the past. But again, it's just slow, patient application. And with this type of energy, we also have opportunities coming in from other people in our life who can help us make growth decisions and reach goals that we've been working on. And the people or the opportunities that are coming in are coming from people who have power and influence or opportunities that can really help you succeed. It's just the way things are in the sky right now that we're all benefiting from. So for you, I'm going to point out, so Genesee, for Leo, Scorpio, that's your 4th house, so that's your home. So for you, you may have been spending a lot of time at home and growing it in some way, and or growing what you're doing for growth, either inside of your home or looking at the future goals for your family or for your home. Does it fit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And have you been obsessed with it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's the energy where you're driven. So remember that, and then, okay, for Gemini, this is playing out in your 8th house. So for you, it has to do with other people's money, either your husband's money if you're married, or money coming in from work, or people you work with and they pay you. Okay, so other people's money, or you're dealing with investments as far as banks or stocks or loans or debts or inheritances, things like that. Okay?
Didn't affect you at all, huh?
I do. I'm in the thick of it.
Okay, because it's really magnified right now.
It's unbelievable. Everything you just said.
Oh,
I'm in the thick of it.
Okay, well, it's only till November.
Oh,
All right.
It's a long ways.
And then for Aries, now wait a minute. Well, isn't that interesting? Aries is the same.
It's what you just said for her?
Well, it is.
Ah.
But I was actually wrong on you, but you've also got Saturn, Pluto, and Mars in that 8th house. So you're being activated just by different planets, okay?
So what's that mean as for the outcome?
I'm going to tell you,
Oh.
but what I just said for her
Yeah.
is for you.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Does it apply?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Sorry about
Oh,
that.
that's okay. Let's find
Let's
out.
go deeper.
You keep going.
Okay, so for Gemini, 6th house. Okay, so for you, you're getting an abundance of work or responsibility at work right now with your routine and what you're needing to do, what you're required to do. So it's an overabundance of responsibility and or research and or looking at ways to grow or change your routine. If it's not work, it's your routine. It's your diet, health, nutrition, your health and your lifestyle and how you're applying it, because it may very well be over the, what's the right word? Overwhelmed. Does that fit? Okay. Your other house is activated too, though. You got the heavies in the 8th house. Okay, and who did I not do? Capricorn?
Yep.
All right.
I can't wait to do it every time.
She's got the heavies in her 1st house. That's not what we're talking about right now, though. Okay, so Sue, for you, it's your 11th house. So you may be joining groups or working with teams, or you're involved with people. You're either doing group projects, or you're working with, doing something with friends, or you're heavily involved with in-laws, or you're involved in a social cause of some sort, but you're working with societal issues, and they're just drawing you in. Would that fit?
Yeah.
Okay. But with Jupiter there, you're getting opportunities. It's expansion, but you're also getting opportunities. And for you, you're giving opportunities. You're not only getting opportunities, but you're giving opportunities to these people, these groups. So you may be more of a boss to them, or more of a authority to them, giving them advice on some levels. Okay? All right, I bring this up because this is going to go retrograde. So the retrograde is from March 8th to July 10th. So it goes on for quite a while, okay? That is what, 4 months? So the drive for expansion that you have felt in these areas, it's going to start to diminish. That doesn't mean that it's going away, because it's still there, and because it's in Scorpio, it's going to be, you're still going to have that gut driving you forward, but it's going to be more internal to work it out, because you may have been experiencing, like I said, overwhelming, bringing in too much, or taking on too much, or having too many choices. And so what it's going to do is give you the opportunity to refine the plan and to work it out in these areas of your life that I spoke about, okay? Does it fit? I can't wait till Jupiter goes retrograde, because it's in my 1st house, in my natal chart, and my 1st house needs a break. So what it's going to be doing is, it's going to be a time to dive into research, to transform either internally, so either yourself internally, or whatever situation you find yourself involved in. If it's a company, if it's work, if it's the government, you're going to see the government restructuring itself internally. But if it's work, it's going to be working on the program internally before it goes back outside. Okay, it's a 4-month period to work out the changes that need to be adapted in order for, in July, when you're ready to come back and grow again, you'll have the bugs worked out, so to speak. Does that make sense? Am I being too vague? You look confused.
No, I'm just thinking.
Okay.
I'm not confused, I'm just thinking, and feeling that, just, yeah, no, I'm not confused.
Okay, okay.
Processing.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, so change is still going on and the growth is still going on, but the energy is shifting from it coming at you from the world, from the outside world. It's going to be coming at you from the inside, saying, you know what, I got to do this, this, and this in order to balance this. So it's just a shift. But that being said, the Jupiter energy is, it's growth oriented, so you're going to see delays. But what it also does is it doesn't just do that. It performs in different ways. So it brings things in as well. Okay, so what does it bring in? When it goes retrograde, it can bring in things from the past that did not get expressed before, and now they're ready for expression. So it can bring things back. So we already talked about that. Well, it's the polarity change. Okay, so you're going to become more introverted instead of extroverted. You're going to be assessing your growth plan, so to speak, on the way you see your life developing. You're going to be researching how to control your power, how to control what you give to other people or what other people expect from you. And you're going to be looking at that and going inside and putting the reins on what you just give away. Okay, so it's going to be a time for that. You're going to be looking at your personal integrity as far as what you owe yourself versus what others expect from you. Okay? It could bring in a shift in health changes. Now, Jupiter is a planet of growth. So when Jupiter goes retrograde, health-wise, anything that may be growing, which may be disease-related, actually tends to stop growing. So that is a good thing, okay, if it's in that type of a context. But it also can restrict things. So you can see a change in, like, if you have troubles with blood pressure, it's going to decrease, okay? It doesn't expand, it decreases. Which again, digestion could slow down. So if these are sore spots for you, you may start to notice shifts in the energy. My point is, it's a 4-month process, so just be conscious. It doesn't mean it's going to bring on disease. I'm not saying that. It's just going to shift the energy, where instead of expansion, it's retraction. Okay? It may also bring in a time where you really a rebirth for your spiritual development. It's a time to go inside. It's a time to get reconnected with your goals and your inner spiritual direction. So you may find yourself getting more religious or getting more involved in spiritual groups or going back and finding your old guru. You may be drawn to that. But you're basically working on your own personal mastery instead of your performance. So it's a difference. And so what it can bring back, money-wise, investments. You can see investments coming in that may have been delayed or postponed. So it could bring in money, okay, from the past. not new investments. They would be old money, okay? It can bring in unfinished projects as far as anything you've been working on at work that kind of has been sitting there for a year. It may get restarted, okay? It'll bring in unfinished projects, and or your home, it's gonna bring in unfinished projects, okay? You can bring in people from the past as far as advisors. So if you have, attorneys, brokers, judges, politicians, teachers, you may go back to school. It's a good energy to go back to school. Or go back to people that you used to go to for advice. They may come back into your life. Or counselors, you may start to go back into counseling and or talk with your pastor, or like I said, talk with a spiritual advisor. So it's a time to slow down and rethink. You may complete a postponed journey. It's not a good time to start a journey. It's a good time to complete a postponed journey because it'll flow. It doesn't flow well with new journeys. It's just the way it works, okay? But you may go back to school. You may renew intimacy or relations either in your marriage or with an old partner or an old partnership. Work-wise, you may renew relations with people from the past. So, same thing. So your goals are being halted, slowed down, and you're going to be questioning your growth, the direction of the way you're headed. So you're questioning it and you're figuring it out if it's working. So it's not a good time during Jupiter retrograde to start your expansion project because you're going to be fighting the energy and it's not going to work with you. So knowing that, if you're planning to, you're going to see it in the government, okay? We may have a government shutdown. And when is that? March 8th, I think. March 8th. And what is the timing for the possible government shutdown? It's March 8th. Okay? It's just, the expansion of policies, there are going to be delays, or there may be liens or tariffs. They're going to be looking at truth and ethics and laws and policies. All these things are going to be reviewed, internalized, and you're going to see it in the news. But you may also experience these delays in traveling. That's why it's not really a great time to plan a trip, a new trip, because there may be delays in taking. There may be delays in customs, or there may be price increases or surcharges, or some sort of delay that's going to just complicate issues. You may not find the help. You may not find the room. There may be nothing available. It's just the energy. Commerce and trade in general will probably slow down. Although if it's from the past, it'll come in. Does that make sense? So it's not necessarily bad, it's just the way it works. You'll start to see things from the past come in, which will take the place of the new things that might be delayed. It balances itself out. But again, if you're going to do anything legal, I wouldn't start it at this time. I would wait until it goes direct. So if you're planning to start any type of processing, do the research now and wait until it goes direct. It goes direct in July 10th. Okay? It's also the growth and support that we've been experiencing over the year up until this point, help from people with power or influence to help us, that may be postponed for these next 4 months, and we may feel that being pulled back away from us. So you may be getting delays from your support, if that, so to speak, okay? So if you're gonna ask for that raise, ask for it before March 8th. Okay, the wealth or cashing in, you may see a decline in the investments, so it's a good time to be cautious and steady in what you're doing. As far as if you're doing stocks, I'd be cautious at this time because this actually will rule that. And so, but again, you may get things from the past coming in, okay? So it's just, I'd hold on, I'd hold the line, I'd be cautious, and then it's a 4-month delay. You know, it's just things are gonna slow down as far as that goes. And if you have to perform or make presentations, you know, you may feel less confident than you usually do during this time. So you just have to work extra hard to polish up your material and encourage yourself. It's just the energy, you know, because Jupiter rules confidence, and you know, and it's just going to be somewhat subdued at this time. So you're not losing your mind, it's just you're working. Okay, I'm going to move on here. I started off the lecture with the full moon. This is the last quarter moon, which is March. We're still on March 9th. This all happens, you know, by then. So the last quarter moon from the eclipse is coming March 9th. So at that point, we're going to be reorienting our direction. So the information we got on the first of the month in March, we're going to start to make changes and change direction. If we're getting opposition, this will be the time we start to make directional changes and then move on to completion. So it has to do with goal setting, but it has to do with, you know, optimism. It's a nice energy. You're either going to move ahead with optimism and hope, or again, you're going to decide to separate and not go on with the project. Anytime there's an opposition, you have a choice. You either compromise and work with the situation, or you decide to leave it and move on. You know, so depending on how that opposition on March 1st comes into your life, you know, with this energy, it's goal oriented, and so goals are in your benefit. I would say I'd have to go into your individual sign. Do you want me to? Yes?
If you want to, yeah.
Okay, so for Sag, Capricorn, Sue, you're gonna that affects you in your 12th house. So at this point, you know, you may be the eclipse for you was in Aquarius. So that was your money, okay? No, that was the beginning. So
All night long. All night long.
it was your money. So at this point, you know, you're going to start just releasing, getting rid of, dumping the stuff that doesn't belong, and you're going to make room for the new projects
Okay.
by the 9th.
Okay. I better hurry
Garage
up.
sale. Garage sale.
Put it out on the curb. You're
I got
making
a lot.
room for the growth, okay?
Oh my goodness.
And, okay, then we have Genesee. This is Sag, so for you, it's going to be your kids. So I think at this point, your initial challenge was with your partnership, your agreement. That's what in eclipse for you was in the 7th house, so it has to do with your partnerships, agreements, your marriage, or whoever you have significant contracts with. And for you now, it's gonna play out where you're gonna spend and put much more time into developing your goals and adventures with your kids and or with your project. You're gonna really put your energy into it based on your decision with the contracts or agreements, okay? But it's gonna be played out for you through either your kids or your project, okay? And it's a trine, so for you, it's gonna be a nice flowing energy. It's a nice energy. All right, for Gemini, the eclipse for you, was in the 9th house. So February 15th, you may have had a burst of energy in a new belief system, in a new direction, in possibly thinking of going back to school or getting educated or training in some way. Do any of these apply? 9th house, it has to do with goal setting and growth oriented for the future and or planning a trip.
Well, I'm always planning a trip, and I'm always trying to expand. So those two things would fit.
There should have been an intensification on that 2 weeks ago, February 15th. A focus on that.
Well, yeah, on one of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then on March 1st, you're gonna get an awareness to that. You're gonna understand exactly where you sit with that new project or new thought form that you started, okay? And then now, on March 9th, you're going to Sag. You're going to either plan that with a partner, either your husband or a work associate or someone that you're gonna make a commitment with, another person, in order to plan or proceed with this. Okay? It's gonna play out, but you're gonna seal the deal. That's a good thing, but there might be some opposition with that. You're gonna have to work through the details. Okay, and who did I not do? I didn't do. Okay, and then Aries. So you started out with the group activity in February. Group involvement, dealing with friends, partners, teams. That's what you started out with in February. Okay, your opposition was in I've lost my place. The full moon. The full moon we started off with was in Virgo. Okay. So so it played out for you in work. Okay, so in your daily affairs in work. The full moon for you on March 1st, so it has to do with your routine and the expectations of others and how it's going to apply in your day-to-day environment, okay? How you're going to apply what's being asked of you from these groups and this group involvement. And you might be critical. Okay? And so now, the last quarter moon for you on March 9th is going to be in where you're going to start to set the goals. You're going to be doing the goal setting, the planning for the future, and it's a nice energy. It's a nice energy. It's a trine, and it should work through easily. Okay, but it's goal setting for the future. Did I get everyone? Okay. All right, and then Mars in Capricorn. Do you like my Capricorn guy? The energy shifts in March 17th. Mars goes from Sag, which was goal setting and really planning and future oriented. Now it goes into application. And it's an exalted sign. And this is more like a general of an army, okay? Where now you've got you're in charge, you've got your bootstraps on, and you're going to start applying what you planned. And this is the energy that's going to go on for the next 2 months, okay? So it's a nice energy. It's practical, it's thought out, it's structured, but it's really based on accomplishment. And it's looking at as an authority of taking everything into account. It's a nice energy. People are going to be, career oriented or socially oriented or just feeling accountable in general for their reactions and their responsibilities. You can start to see advancements and or getting opportunities of leadership promotions, being recognized at work, or being recognized at home, or just being recognized by others for what you do. So people are going to be just efficient. It's not, there's not going to be a lot of fluff, but you're going to see a lot of action. It's a good time for pioneering a new business. Independent self-expression. But the opposite of this is you might see people impulsive, or you might see people who want power hungry. So this is the positive way it can be expressed, but you may be dealing with people who are just over aggressive and want power. So you're going to have to balance it out, or you yourself can exhibit it that way too. Okay, but the general flair of that energy is to really be accomplished and to take pride of performance without being overly prideful, and to take actions without being overly fearful, So there's a balance in how it's going to be played out. So 2 months, and then we're going to start a new moon cycle. I'm going to start. Do you want me to do that one? You guys like each one?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let me go back. Wait, go this way. So Mars in Capricorn. For Sue, it's Capricorn. It's going to be all about you. Okay, so you're going to start to just really start to be much more authoritative in your presence and in your beliefs, and taking action and being more accountable just by being who you are. And you're going to be, and you may even be recognized more at work, just for being who you are and what you contribute, and being more of an authority within your environment, within the world you live in. Okay, so you're going to be more assertive, okay? Not aggressive, but assertive and more confident. So it's going to, and your body too, it's a nice energy. You may become much more, you may be more focused on your health as far as being more accountable, being more attentive to the needs of your body, not necessarily because there's a problem, just because you need to have that functioning, working capacity so that you can perform your job. I mean, it's a functional capacity. It's not, there's no fluff. I just need to do this. Do you see the difference? And then we don't have Aquarius. We have Aries. So for you, it's going to be in your career. So you may really put yourself forward in your career, as far as being more, give it to me, I can handle it. What were you thinking? you know, just more take charge and be more accountable and again, the energies in the air for promotion and advancement in general. So the fact that it falls in your 10th house, you know, that is where it would fit for you. Okay. Sue, you're going to be more assertive just in general with who you are and what you contribute. Okay. But you're going to be more assertive in your career and your profession. And so both of you may be given more responsibility at work. It's just in a different way. Okay. But again, it's the energy of like of a general, you know, making good decisions, strategic, making good strategic decisions. Okay, and then Gemini, Gemini, it's going to be in your 8th house, so you're going to take charge of your money. Now we're in the 8th house, what I told you before, okay? So now you're going to start to take charge and take action and take accountability for the resources, either your husband's resources or the resources of the job. Or again, it's debt, taxes, inheritances, investments. It has to do with other people's money that you don't necessarily have control over, okay? But you're going to be in there as, you know, you're going to be manipulating and strategizing what you're going to do and how you're going to work with these people in order to solve problems and or make it functional and efficient. Does that make sense? Okay. It starts. It starts in March. This goes retrograde in Mars. This goes retrograde in June 26th. So this energy is going to be going on most of the summer. Also, I think it's retrograde all summer. And then I think it goes direct in August. And then it continues on. So this energy goes on for probably a good 6 months. So just let you know. That's where you're going to be focusing. Mars is your action. Mars is what you where you put your energy and where you perform. So these areas of your life are going to be a primary focus for, I'd say, a good 6 months of the year. Okay. Genesee. Leo, it's your job, it's your everyday life, it's your work, it's your practice, your everyday routine of what you do. So you're going to take charge and make it more efficient. You're going to make planning, scheduling, get people in line. You're going to get all your ducks in a row. She's going to take her whip out at me. But it has to do with your work. And so making it more efficient, making it more productive, and you're going to be in charge and you're going to be orchestrating. And also has to do with your health and your diet and your routine, your personal routine, your personal agenda. And who did I leave out?
Nobody.
You got us all.
Did I get you all?
Yes.
Okay. All right, sorry. Here we go. I'm going to skim over these. I put these moons in here, but I'm thinking it might have been a little too much, so you guys tell me. I need feedback from the audience. So March 17th, we have a new moon series coming in. So the eclipse that started in February 15th, it will end, but because it's an eclipse, it will last for 6 months, the energy of it. This one starts in March 17th, it's only going to last a month and it'll be done, okay? But we have a new moon, which is basically new experiences. Anytime there's a new moon, I just laugh, because I just sit there and I watch what comes into my life on the new moon, and I sometimes I write it down, or I just wait for the phone to ring and I see who calls, because those are going to be the players in my life for the month. It's the little games I play. But you'll watch, the new moon brings new opportunities and people into your life, so that this is going to be your field of experience for the month. So something new will be initiated and unfold. It's a Pisces energy, so there's something about it that's a dream or a vision, something you want to accomplish, but it's more emotional. It's more of an emotional dream that you would, or a vision that you'd like to see unfold within your life. So it'll be through feeling, nurturing, imaginative, artistic, or have something to do with compassion or healing, typically. And moons always have to be with security and are security based. But I'll tell you, for each one of you, Genesee, the next month for you, starting March 17th, it's going to be focusing for you on situations that have to do with no, other people's money. So we were there before, earlier in the night, but so starting March 17th, it's going to have to do with joint resources and or your involvement, emotional involvement. It's more of an emotional involvement with these people. Okay, so it's either your husband's resources, work's resources, or what other people are contributing and what you're contributing, and the dialogue that goes on with that. But it's or sharing secrets, privacies, private information between the two. That's going to be the focus of the new moon for you. And let me do the others real quick. I'm not going to go into the quarters, I don't think, but we'll see. I'll go as long as you guys want me to. I don't want to overdo it. Okay, so Sue, the new moon for you is going to be communication. So you may be writing poetry, or you may be writing, you may be art, it has to do with communication for you. You may be saying things that you wouldn't normally say, but you may be saying them through your artwork, if that makes sense. It's a way for you to emotionally dialogue through your expression, but I'm thinking you might play it out through art instead. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But or you might start shopping more, or traveling more, or buying and selling more. There's some piece of it where it's an emotional fulfillment for you to release through expression, but it has to do with it has more so to do with the way you communicate, but it's more of an artistic communication. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then for, that's Capricorn, Aries, it's going to be, you're still going to be cleaning house. You're going to be letting go, more of that. But now it's an emotional thing. You're emotionally going to be ending things, moving on, releasing, transcending, okay? And Gemini, well, this is going to be in your career, your house of career. So it's going to be, but for you, it's going to be somewhat of a challenge, because you may not be able to clearly understand. You may intuitively understand, but you may not clearly understand things that are going on at work. It's more of an emotional type of a interplay with things that are going on at work, But it's work related. It's not, it's like you're gonna have to solve a problem, or you're gonna have to, there might be some sort of a wall that you have to overcome or break through in order to complete a project, but it's more of an emotional block. It's an emotional block. Do you see anything lining up? Okay. But it's going to play out for you at work. If it's not work, it's your public self. It's your, the image that you put out publicly. But it's more career oriented, more career based. It's not bad. It's just a challenge. You're going to have to. It's work related. You're going to have to put energy into it. She gets the easy one. You get. Anyway, all right. This is a quick overview of the moon cycles. Okay, so you guys understand, and you can see them. And I'm just going to tell you, because this is how it plays out. Okay, you see the new moon there, which is the dark moon. Okay, and that's what I'm talking about right now. The new moon coming in March 17th. Okay. It's emotionally based, you're driven, you want to do something, you don't know why, you just feel that you really want to do something. And then as it increases in light, you start to put your energy toward that desire. And so it increases in light. By the time you get here, no, wait, I'm going this way. It's increasing in light, and then by the time you get to the first quarter square, that's where you start to take action, and you start to really start to cross over the hurdles and break through the walls in order to see something manifest that you want to create, okay? And then you start to apply it, you start to distribute it, and you start to see the reality of it, and then this is where it either manifests and you see the fulfillment of it, or you get the opposition and the flack from the other people, and they say, yeah, but I think you should do this. Okay? So this is where you start it. You don't know where it's going, but you just have the urge. And then this is where you see the fulfillment of it. And it's either fulfilled or you get the opposition, and then you decide if you're going to compromise or if you're going to release. Okay, this is how it works. And then you start to make your changes. And then this is where you start to, if you're going to compromise, this is where you decide, you come to agreement, and yes, we can work through on this, or you say, no, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to let this go. And then either way, you start to phase it out and complete the project. And this goes on every 30 days with something, okay? But that's the cycle, that's how it plays out. It's interesting to see. That moon does a lot in the sky. And it's all going on, and we're really not even conscious of it. But those are the cycles, and it's always, the moon is always emotionally based. It's always emotionally based. All right, and then March 20th, the sun moves into Aries. So again, Aries, I love the Aries energy, because the Aries energy is taking action. So we're going to get more action-based energy. We're going to feel more driven, more encouraged, more confident. And it goes on through April 20th, so a month of this. Again, love, is Aries, Sun in Aries, it gives you more passion, more ability to take action. So it's a good time for relationships. It's a good time for creating romance, passion between people. It's a good time to express your will, to stand up for yourself, to do what you feel is right, or what you feel is right for you. You make more confident choices. So you make new directions in life, you take a stand. It's just very action-oriented. So March through April, you really should start to see yourself just moving forward on a lot of things that have been, we've got, we had Venus, we had Mercury, and now we have the Sun. They're all in Aries. So all these different aspects of our personality are all going to be action-oriented and on fire, which is good. You know, it's really a good time to get things moving. And that's going to fall in the same houses that Mercury and Venus did for you earlier. So it's just a different reflection of the same energy, but it has to do with you, your identity, and how you project yourself out there. So we have two big events this month. Jupiter goes retrograde, and Mercury then goes retrograde. Mercury is only retrograde for 3 weeks, so it's not a big deal, but it goes retrograde in Aries. So the action that you've been taking that started March, or the retrograde actually starts March 22nd, so it actually went, March 6th is when it started. So you're going to start to reflect on the actions that you're taking and the directions that you're heading in. There's a difference between Mercury and Jupiter. Jupiter is much more long-reaching goals and the bigger picture of where you're headed and the longer steps and stages that it's going to take to get you there. And Mercury is more so the everyday interactions and the everyday projects that you're focused on that are part of the bigger picture. So there's a difference in the way that they're playing out. But again, so you're going to have 2 planets retrograde. It's a double whammy. You're going to be more introverted again at this time. Doesn't mean you're not going to keep working and plunging forward, but it's coming from inside. The drive comes from inside. And Mercury always gets the flack of, oh God, don't make a decision. It's Mercury retrograde. Part of that is true, but part of it's not. It just means that things are delayed because it slows down. Mercury is your speech and your communication and your reasoning, and it also rules your circulation of your body, so it affects the body too. It affects all your systems of communication within the body. But when it goes retrograde, it slows down. And it appears to be moving backward, even though it isn't. It's a distortion from our position on Earth. But it slows down, so that quick thinking and processing slows down. And so that's why there's misunderstandings, okay? Because people are affected by it, and they just don't get they don't get it a lot of the times, okay? So, stunted. You know, things are backwards. You can overly promise things and not think them through. Experiences in health or changes. Mercury would affect breathing, coordination, memory, digestion, throat, vision, or hearing. So you may see changes in those areas of your life or in your body. A lot of print errors during Mercury retrograde, so you really want to be careful if you're printing any promotions. Proof them 3 times, because there are typical errors, typical problems with electronics, computers, networking, because again, it's all the way, everything communicates with each other. So, and when it slows down, they don't process the same, so they don't communicate, they don't fit together the same. So just a lot of problems. It brings in money that can be owed to you. So you can get money from the past, and Jupiter does the same thing. So, you know, you could get money from both of these. Again, unfinished projects, Jupiter does the same thing. Past advisors, different group of people, but it brings in people from the past, okay? And you can reconnect with siblings, relatives, neighbors, you know, your immediate community will come back into your life. Good time for researching, spirituality. The retrogrades are always good for just going inside and getting in touch with yourself. Not a good time for surgery of any kind. If you have surgery, I would not do it until it's direct. Okay. Signing contracts, I would read them 3 times if you have to, but I would avoid it until it goes direct. Opening a business, I would wait. Whatever you start during the retrograde, it's not a good time to start things because you're starting in an environment that just doesn't communicate or process well. So that's what and then that becomes the natal chart of whatever it is you started. So if it's a business, that's what your business is birthed on. So you don't want to do that if you can avoid it. Just wait 2 or 3 weeks. Scheduling meetings, you'll see, there will be hiccups or people will forget or there'll be reasons why they're delayed. Making presentations, people may not understand what you're talking about. You did what? Why? Our purchasing or installing computers, you'll typically have problems, or the parts will be missing, or they'll be in the, the wrong pieces. Business investments, business investments, I would start them. It's a good time to research. It's an excellent time to research. But I wouldn't initiate, if I could help it, anything new. I wouldn't sign a contract. But if you have to, just reread it 3 times. Ask people to repeat themselves. What did you say? Could you tell me what did I just say to you? What do you understand that I just said? And just, if you've got something going on, call people, check on deadlines or schedules to make sure that, there isn't a glitch somewhere. It goes direct by April 15th. So it's really not that long of a period. But I think by the time it's over, again, it's a time to process the direction you're headed and the choices you're making. So you'll get clear. And it has to do with projects too. Anything you're working on at work, you'll see all the bugs will get worked out of projects during this time. You'll fix things that aren't working. But it's great to negotiate after the retrograde because you'll have a clear understanding of what you want. So if you're about to ask for something, this is the time to process, to figure out what it is exactly you want, and then negotiate for it from there. We're almost done. The moon that we started on the 17th, the first quarter, you're going to start to take action on it, which is in March 24th. So wherever I told you your different situations were, yours was at work. So you're going to start to take action in Cancer. So for you, you're going to start to take action with yourself. You're going to be much more compassionate to yourself, and you're going to take care of yourself and nurture yourself. So you may not be focusing so much on other people and what other people want. You're going to be focusing on your needs and your wants. Okay? And Aries, you're going to be focusing on home. So you're purging and cleaning house and letting go, and then you're going to be focusing on making your home very emotionally secure and nurturing and home. And it's going to be like, oh, this is my home. I feel so good. And making it nice for people to come visit. Your mother may be involved in this, or you may be just mothering people, in general. So you're going to be doing that. And Sue, Capricorn, you are going to be looking at Your husband. Let's see, it started off where for you? It started off, so we started off with communication, so you were communicating. Yours has to do with, yours is an opposition, so you're either going to be making some kind of a commitment or a contract, or you're going to be discussing something that you've been working out. It has to do with your thoughts, but it has to do with your emotions. And it may have to do with buying, selling, or money in some capacity, but it has to do with, remember, you got all your planets here. You're going to be the general, and your husband's going to be the one receiving it.
He's the private. Okay.
But it's so you're gonna have a discussion, okay?
More like a lecture.
I'm gonna give him orders.
Like a general.
Yeah.
You're redefining a vision. It has to do with the vision, okay? So you're redefining your vision of the way you see that you would like things to be. That's basically the energy of it.
Okay.
And then we have, who did I forget? Genesee, right? Where are you? Why aren't you here?
Uh-oh, it means it's probably not good.
How did I miss you? Okay. And this is Cancer, so for you, you are here. So you're letting go. You started with what? You started with Pisces, which was in the 8th. So you started with other people's resources, monies, and having it's Piscean. So it's really an emotional bonding connection with other people and their resources and your joint relationship together, but it's more about money and finances and or shared equality of energies or participation. But now it's going into the 12th house, so now you're going to make, there's some form of it where you're letting go or you're making changes, but you're getting rid of your emotional attachment to things on some level. So you're releasing some form of emotional attachment or emotional bondage or unconscious emotions. You're going to be, looking at them and releasing them. Okay? All right. I got everyone?
Mhm.
All right. Well, that's basically what we said. But it's this is a very the whole cycle is emotion. It's all based on emotions. It's the water signs. So you're looking at feeling for the most part for the month of the middle of March through the middle of April. A lot of it has to do with protection too. Cancer is the mother energy, so you're protecting yourself and or your family and or the things you love and value. So it has a lot to do with protection. And then I believe this is the last slide. So then we end up the month with the full moon in Libra. So this is the balance. So this is what was started on March 17th. You're going to have the illumination, and you're going to either have the fulfillment of what you started, which was emotionally based, or you're going to have a confrontation and or an awareness that's given to you from another person to say, hey, look, see, yes, I see what you've done, but maybe you should do things this way, or maybe we can compromise and work it out this way. So you end up the month with a a full moon. And it's in Libra. So, let me just put these up here while I tell you so you guys can read them. So for Genesee, yours is going to be 3rd house. So dialogue, communication, paperwork, research. It has to do with sharing ideas and talking and discussion, and basically agreements through communication and through words, through ideas, okay? So it's going to be, this is what I think, this is what I think, you know, and it's an opposition, so you're going to get an awareness of what other people think. And Gemini, for you it's a trine, so 5th house. You are going to have fun. All right? You see, first of all, you got to mother and take care of yourself and nurture yourself, and now you get to have fun. She gets to have all the fun, but she started off with a challenge at
Thank
work.
goodness.
Okay, and it's a trine, so you're going to be spending more time with your kids, your children, or you're going to be doing more things that are recreational and fun. So you may actually be planning, you know, this is the planning stage when you're working on yourself, nurturing yourself. This is where you're taking the action to do things for yourself. And then this will be the manifestation here. So you're going to be either planning something to do with your kids or your friends or your, you know, people you like to do things with, fun things with. And you're going to be enjoying yourself, okay? For your own emotional fulfillment, okay?
Hallelujah.
So, and or they may say, well, geez, Mom, I want to do this. Something like that. But it's still going to be focused around that area of your life, okay? And Aries, right? We didn't do Aries yet. Okay, so now you get the sitting down with your husband or partner or business associate at the end of the month. Aries. So you're going to be, where did you start? You started in Pisces. So you started, no. Libra, Aries. The full moon was in, the full moon was in Pisces, and then it went to Cancer, so it started cleaning house, then it started emotionally making your home a nice environment, but now you're going to be working with another. So there is, are you married?
No.
Well, there is the possibility of a partnership or there's someone coming in. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it's someone. You're making room. You're making your house nice, and then I see you're having an awareness with another person. Okay, so you can see the sequence of events. And it's an opposition. So oppositions can be fulfillment, or they can be feedback from other people. But there will be someone coming in that has to do with someone that you have some type of a contract or commitment or relationship with, that has to do with relationship, basically. It has to do. It can be work related too. It can be work related, but there is someone that's going to come in to give you feedback, and it may be about all the changes you're making because it all ties together. Okay. But there's a person, or there's an agreement, a partnership, a contract, or something coming in where you're going to get an awareness.
Okay. I know.
It's not bad.
No, I'm excited to see what it turns out.
Okay, and then who's left?
Yeah.
Sue?
Yes.
No.
Are you,
Yeah, I
did I do
Yes.
you all?
She didn't do her.
Okay, and then Sue, you are Libra. So yours is at work. Okay, so you started here, so you're having, and yours all may be work related, I don't know, but because this could go your husband and or work. It's a committed relationship, so it can be work, but it ends up playing out now at work. Okay, so you started with communication, but it's a dream for you. It's a dream of what you want to accomplish and what you want to achieve. And then you're having this discussion with your partner, and you're getting the feedback and the awareness with him. Can be work too, though. But now it's playing out here. Okay, so now you're actually bringing it to fulfillment publicly. Okay, either through your career or through your public presence or persona of what you're creating. But what you've created is artistry. It's something you've created, but it has to do with balance and equality, and it has to do with relationship. You will play it out. It's the theme of it. It's going to play out for you at work. But it started for you by you creating a dream, and the dream is through your vision of what you want to communicate. But I think it's communication through art with you, not words. I don't know. I could be done.
Oh, wow.
Good job.
Thank you.
We went over a little. I apologize.
I got a question. You did each of us sort of individually. What does it look like overall, like say for the country or coming up in the next?
Look at this smile. Don't ask Diane.
Should have been here for the last lecture.
She's got charts and charts and charts and charts and charts.
Oh, I bet you do.
What does it look like for the country? I think that,
Or
well,
overall world, or you know.
I think that our world is, we got a lot of changes coming in, and you're starting to see all the controversy going on now in the United States, and with especially with Trump's chart and the United States chart. That's lit up right now. You can start to see the instigation of events coming now. What's going on? I don't know if you've been watching the news in the last couple days.
Oh, yeah. It's chunky.
Okay, so there's a lot of challenge going on right now within our country. The retrogrades are going to be a time where you're going to start to see, with the Jupiter retrograde, you're going to start to see in our own country all the internal, they're going to be fixing a lot of things internally within our country, and a lot of it may have to do with our president. Okay, they're going to be analyzing and looking at truth and ethics and things like this, legal systems.
Yeah, I
okay?
saw a few of those out there where there a lot of things had to do with politics and ethics and morality and
Yeah, because right now everything's moving forward, but you'll start to see around Jupiter, March 8th, where you're going to see a delay and everything's going to come to a halt. I think we're going to have a shutdown. I don't know how long it will last. We may, based on what I'm seeing. But things may stop, and then things will have to be fixed in order for them to keep moving forward. So I think it's going to be, so we're going to have delays in that respect. There's a big shift of energy in May coming in. Again, where everything is moving forward as far as we want change and we want growth and we want advancement. And then in May, there's going to be, I think, some significant action will come in. not necessarily bad, but there will be something significant that comes in that changes our focus where we want more stability. What that is, I don't know. Okay? Right now, we're focusing on advancement, and we stop, and we all, as a nation and as a world, not just as a nation, but as a world, we're all starting to focus more on security and sustainability and food production and agriculture and land. So there's more of a focus on sustenance and less of a focus on action. What the change is, I don't know. Okay?
Interesting.
That being said, the planets work well together after that change happens. So the change itself, I think, will be maybe a hiccup for all of us. But after that change happens, the planets work well in the sky together, nicely. So I'm not afraid of it. Okay, I just don't know what it is. Okay? And do you want me to stop? You look tired.
Oh, no, I'm,
No, I'm good. I mean, that answered a lot of questions.
Okay, I mean, I
You
could
know.
go on, but there's a lot of change this year. There's a lot of
Yeah.
change. That's one of the biggest changes is in May, okay? Because it's just a whole shift of focus. And July is going to be very intense for all of us.
Uh-huh.
that's the eclipse energy comes
Well,
in, right?
We
I
have
mean, we're
we
going-
have an eclipse in July.
The August
I already have
21st
angst
eclipse.
right now.
It was like a
Yeah.
whole year,
Yes.
right?
We have 3 more eclipses coming in.
Oh, jeez.
We just had 2, okay? We just had the 2 in January and February, which you're all experiencing now. And those will play out through July. And then in July, we have 2 more, and then in August, we have 1. So, but the one in July is going to be very intense, okay? It's going to be very empowering, but it's also going, I mean, it's just, there's a lot of intense energy this year, but I think the one in July, there's something is going to be let go in all of our lives just because of the planets. Now, depending on how it affects your chart, but there's going to be an empowering of the person, yourselves, but you're going to have a lot of pressure from another area of your life, and there will be some area of your life, something's going to let go. There's going to be there's going to be a loss of something. It doesn't have to be bad, but you get cooked to the point where you have to finally let go of something, okay? That comes in July. And it has to do with a sense of, you may not have even seen it coming, because, you're working, doing this, doing that, and then all of a sudden you say, wow, this left and I didn't even know it was gone. Or, I've lost this and I didn't even realize I was losing it. It could be your children moving away to college and all of a sudden they're leaving and you realize that they're leaving and you've lost that time with them that you could have spent with them before they left, okay? It has to do with 5th house stuff. So it could be, you realize you wake up one day that you don't have fun anymore, that all you do is this, that, and the other thing, and the things that were fun for you no longer exist in your life. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a thing, but it's the realization that you've lost something and you didn't even see it, okay? It could have to do with people moving away in your family or in your personal group of people. You may find that someone's leaving, someone's moving away. But there's something, there's going to be some semblance of something leaving, coming in, and then in August, there's kind of a shift of focus on the way you think you're headed for all of us, and there's the way you think you're headed, and then there's the shift coming in with July, and then you realize that maybe you're going to change your course, and maybe you're not going to go this way, maybe you're going to go this way instead. So there's going to be maybe a shift in the change of course coming in, like in the summer, after the end of summer. And Mars, don't you guys like the way I just go on and on and on? I'm sorry.
It's interesting, that's why we came to see you.
We came.
But the Mars is retrograde, June 26th through September, I think. So almost 2 or 3 months. I don't know the exact date. And that's when the shift starts to take place during that retrograde, because you're not all of a sudden you have this awareness, and it's like, maybe I don't want to do that, or maybe I need to spend more time here, or maybe this is more important, So that Mars, when Mars goes retrograde, you're going to start to make changes, and then when it goes forward, your direction's going to change. All of our direction is going to change. And then there's a big, huge change coming in November. Big change, big change. So, did that help?